Follow and listen to Money Watch with Jill Schlesinger on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
CBS Radio News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Cammie McCormick. There was an unprecedented development in the Jeffrey Epstein case today. Britain's former Prince Andrew was arrested over allegations he may have shared confidential government information with the sex offender. CBS's Vicki Barker has more.
King Charles has released a statement expressing grief at his younger brother's arrest, but voicing support for the British police and affirming his faith in British justice. Justice, which is carried out in the monarch's name.
If it does end up in the courts, then it is the king versus his own brother, which would be extraordinary.
Vanity Fair contributor Katie Nicholl. The last British royal to face arrest, King Charles I, who was arrested, tried, and executed for treason in 1649. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
Newsweek's Jack Royston.
Even to get this far, even if Andrew is never convicted of anything and never even charged, it is still a huge win, I think, for survivors of Epstein.
The family of Virginia Giuffre, who alleged she was trafficked to engage in sex with Andrew, thanked British police and said he was never a prince. Giuffre died by suicide last year. President Trump hosted the inaugural meeting of his Board of Peace today as the U.S. military continues its buildup in the Middle East.
We do have some work to do with Iran. They can't have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. You can't have peace in the Middle East if they have a nuclear weapon.
Top national security officials have told the president the military is ready for potential strikes on Iran, but Trump has made no decision. CBS's Charlie D'Agata.
This is moving very quickly. So U.S. officials we spoke to said they're preparing for every contingency. Will be ready to strike as soon as Saturday. Now, that could range from like limited airstrikes to what could be a drawn-out conflict with Iran. That means an incredible show of military might, moving not just one, but two aircraft carriers to the region.
Law enforcement sources tell CBS News the FBI has contacted the Mexican government and Mexican law enforcement regarding the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, though the Pima County Sheriff says there's no indication Guthrie was taken there. Moscow is used to heavy snow, but record amounts are falling. Utility workers trying to stay ahead of it. The storm could bring more than a half a foot of snow that usually falls all month, and that's on top of January records. Snow last month was the heaviest in more than 200 years. Walmart posted better than expected sales, up 4.6% for the quarter. Grocery sales were particularly strong for the retailer, though the outlook from Walmart hints at some volatility ahead. And on Wall Street, stocks are lower today. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
The second I see that Chick-fil-A text in the group chat, I'm throwing my shoes on and running out the door. Hey, I'm Layla.
And I'm Kaylin.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is
how it feels like an easygoing morning.
The chicken adds the most flavor. It's juicy and seasoned.
The biscuit is just very light and airy and fluffy, just like a cloud.
I also love to put jelly on mine so it's sweet and savory.
It's a good start to the day.
Mornings are a little bit brighter with the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit and Simply Orange juice. Available on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
A new study finds we're all starting to sound the same. Deborah Rodriguez reports.
That wasn't very nice. Now he's got to leave.
A survey from WordFinder finding the New York accent is slowly disappearing from everyday use.
Forget about it.
So is New England's regionalese.
Matt Damon and Tom Brady don't have the heart of a champion.
Fading at the highest rate, the Southern drawl, Louisiana Creole accents, and the Appalachian dialect.
You know that old Shackledy house over in Pinhook? That's where Pappy used to live.
Further down the list, Philadelphia's Mid-Atlantic mashup. Want some water to wash down your hoagie? least endangered, inland northern, Pacific Northwest, and Southwestern accents. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News, New York.
Bringing humor, insight, and a voice of reason. Hey, it's Rick. Join me for the Rick Burgess Show on WGNS, weekdays 11 till 2.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at WGNSradio.com. This is Rutherford Issues, hitting right at what matters most to all of us here in the heart of Tennessee. From Murfreesboro to Smyrna, Eagleville to Laverne, Leanna to Barfield, and everywhere in between. If it matters to you, you'll hear about it here on Rutherford Issues. Now your host, Bryan Barrett.
Well, hey, hi, and hello there, fun lovers and truth seekers. Bryan Barrett here with you. It's about 24 after 10. It's been crazy here this morning. Lots of different things going on. Keeping you updated on what's happening, but just a lot of behind the scenes back and forth and trying to get on. But we're here. We're going to head to Nashville, the state capital, and get an update on what's happening there here in just a couple of moments with State Representative Mike Sparks. So be sure to hang tight for that. That's here on Rutherford Issues, which is presented, and we are brought to you by, powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. Want to take charge of your electric bill? Well, download the free MyMTE app to track your usage, pay bills, and report outages right from your phone. That's Middle Tennessee Electric. This morning, for some reason I closed that tab, and that tab is our Good Neighbor of the Day. Cheney Mosley is today's SRM Concrete Good Neighbor of the Day for his contributions to the agricultural education community, and for bridging the gap between the university and local farmers. Cheney Mosley today, the recipient of flowers from Ryan Flowers Coffee and Gifts and News Radio, WGNS. So that is today's Good Neighbor of the Day. If you'd like to send a Good Neighbor of the Day, text the word neighbor, NEIGHBOR. Text neighbor to 615-893-1450. 615-893-1450. And you'll get a reply. Just tap on the link, fill out the information, click submit. When you've done that, it's over. You've done it. It's all complete. And just like Cheney Mosley, that person will be our Good Neighbor of the Day coming up. Thanks to Ryan Flowers Coffee and Gifts for their many years of support. And thank you, whoever sent that in, our mystery submitter. It's all anonymous. That's not the important part. The important part is Cheney Mosley and why Cheney is the Good Neighbor of the Day. This Good Neighbor recognition brought to you by SRM Concrete. They're locally grown, nationally known, and they love celebrating the everyday people who go above and beyond for the rest of us. Birthday Club, Eric Schneider is celebrating today. Eric, hope you have a wonderful birthday. Eric gets to enjoy the banana pudding from Slick Pig Barbecue to celebrate his birthday today. So, Eric, hope you have a wonderful day. And to my fellow radio comrade, Melissa McDonald, celebrating today, wherever you are, hope it's a good day. You're part of the reason I'm still here. I won't give your phone number so our listeners won't call you and blame you for that. Goodness. Eric Schneider, Slick Pig Barbecue Birthday Club.
Good day, Rutherford County. This is Lee Colvin, financial advisor and CFP with Edward Jones. Let's get the latest business news from our financial desk.
CBS Money Watch.
Bayer says it has proposed a $7 billion settlement to resolve lawsuits alleging Roundup weed killer made by its Monsanto subsidiary caused non-Hodgkin lymphoma. If the court approves the deal, Monsanto would make annual payments for 21 years. The agreement does not include any admission of guilt or wrongdoing. CBS News parent company Paramount Skydance is getting one last chance to make its final offer for Warner Brothers Discovery. Netflix granted a waiver for talks to resume for a week, despite agreeing to buy Warner Brothers Discovery last year. I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 205 points at 49,456. Stock sliding as traders assess Walmart earnings and potential Iran conflict. The S&P is off 18, 68.62. The Nasdaq down 37, 22,716.
From Wall Street to Church Street, that's the latest business news from the Edward Jones Financial Desk. I'm financial advisor and CFP Lee Colvin. Call 615-907-7056 or stop by our office on South Rutherford Boulevard in the Public Shopping Center.
Now, here's your Rutherford weather forecast.
Well, let's send you outside here on Big G TV. Cloudy skies. And let's see, it says we've got 66. That's what we have coming in Murfreesboro at the airport as well. 66 at the Smyrna airport. No rain on the radar just yet, but we do have rain on the way. Maybe a thunder boomer or two. Let's talk about it here.
Well, Brian, it looks like we'll have partial sunshine here for this afternoon with a high into the mid-70s. We'll have southwest winds around 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. Then for tonight, a chance for some showers and thunderstorms, cloudy, a low near 52. Friday, mostly sunny, high around 66 degrees. Then on Saturday, a slight chance for rain, a blend of clouds and sunshine, develops a high around 61. Sunday, mostly sunny, high around 45 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Thank you, Jennifer, for the update. Now, let's take a look at our Rutherford weather radar, and this has our outlooks pulled up. We have now been put into a level, well, half of the county, let's just say. So we're on the outer skirts of this whole thing. Let's just keep that in mind. But we're in a level 1 out of 5 for severe weather possibilities today. We are not outlooked in any tornado possibilities, so we're really not thinking that that is going to be any part of our issue. It would be wind if that were to be the case today. Some gusty winds possible, hail. We're not really outlooked for that either. So any storms that do come through, it looks like it might be along the lines of damaging straight line winds as the possibility for our severe weather today. Well, let's take a look at Futurecast here, and we're into our short-term modeling. So that's going to give us an idea of what the radar thinks things could look like as we go through the day. And, you know, this keeps us just cloudy with a chance of, you know, a downpour here or there. It's showing, you know, we may see some downpours start to pick up this afternoon, 1, 2 o'clock. Those could carry a little thunderstorm with them, but not expecting any severe weather with that. And then as we continue to go on 4, 5, 6 o'clock, going to have that warm south wind continue to blow in here. But then if we look out to the west, well, we see some storms kind of pop up down south of us there. Those could be a little further north. It just gives us an idea of the instability. But here are the storms coming in around 11 o'clock out toward western middle Tennessee. By midnight, right through Nashville, these could have some damaging wind possibilities with them. This looks like a pretty robust line of storms that could come through. And let's see, it's showing between midnight and 1 here for us in Rutherford County. So an overnight event, go figure. It's one of those things, but something we'll definitely have to keep a close eye on as these storms continue to get closer to fruition. But Futurecast looks like we could have some storms overnight. Looks like a very likely thing. Again, damaging straight line winds, any possibilities with those. That's a look at your Rutherford weather forecast, RutherfordWX.com, where we keep you updated on the latest weather from Rutherford Weather. Again, RutherfordWX.com. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, find our YouTube channel. And from there, you can access when we're on, whether it's on your phone, tablet, computer, television. We're also doing updates on Facebook and X, things of that nature. We're working on an update for early this afternoon. And then if we need to go live, we will. And, of course, during any warnings, we're live on the not only the Rutherford Weather Channel, but keeping you updated on FM 1019, 100.5, 1450, WGNS Radio. 66 degrees here in Rutherford County.
This message brought to you by the Central Tennessee Regional Solid Waste Planning Board. Visit recyclerightTN.com for tips, ideas, and locations on where to recycle near you.
Don't be trashy, recycle classy, recycle right, Tennessee.
Recycling isn't just about tossing materials in a bin, it's about knowing which materials are accepted. Go to recyclerightTN.com.
Recycle right, Tennessee.
Do your sinus infections always seem to come back no matter what you do? The pressure builds, the headaches drag on, the congestion makes it hard to sleep, hard to focus, hard to feel like yourself. Here's what most people don't actually know. Sinus infections keep coming back because your sinuses can't fully drain. That's why the pressure, the headaches, and the congestion keep coming back time and time again. Balloon sinuplasty gently opens your sinuses in a quick, in-office procedure, so the infections can finally clear. At Murfreesboro Sinus Center, they've helped thousands of patients break free from the sinus infection cycle, so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and finally feel like yourself again. Don't wait another season fighting sinus pain. Call Murfreesboro Sinus Center today at 615-649-4590 to see if balloon sinuplasty is right for you. Call 615-649-4590. That's 615-649-4590.
This is a paid legal ad.
I'm attorney John Day. One of our clients was operating a farm tractor when he was rear-ended by a tractor trailer. In an instant, his life was changed forever. We helped him receive a settlement that has given him financial security for the rest of his life. Now, each case is different, and we can't promise this type of result for every case. But we can promise that when you hire the law offices of John Day, we'll work hard to help you. If you think we can help, call me, John Day.
This is News Radio WGNS Prime Time Sports.
Sponsored by the law offices of John Day. Our expanded office location is on Medical Center Parkway, just across the street from the hospital. If you've been injured, call us for a free consultation at 867-9900.
Well, last night the Blue Raiders fall on the road at Sam Houston 78-70. So another tough loss there for the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. They'll be back in action coming up here on Saturday. And the Raider men are, in fact, hosting Delaware. It's 1 o'clock for that airtime, 12:30 on the Blue Raider Network, because at that time we're going to have Lady Raiders on at 1:30 here on WGNS as they're at Western Kentucky. So that'll be the next Blue Raider event we have on radio for you. Coming up on Saturday, it's a big day of sports. No high school tomorrow night. It's tournament time, so we've got the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner at 9 o'clock Saturday morning. Talking with girls coaches this Saturday between 9 and 11:15. At 11:15, it's MTCS Cougar Corner. Then after the Blue Raiders at Western Kentucky, the women's game, we're going to come in with some District 10 4A semifinal basketball. We'll have the two final boys games of the semifinal day on WGNS Radio, WGNSradio.com, and audio only on our Big G TV channels. We'll continue tournament coverage next week as well, so a busy week coming up as we turn to what will be February/March madness. We're headed to the state capitol in 1 minute.
Ascension St. Thomas Heart is the leader in Middle Tennessee for heart care, providing the most advanced options, including heart surgery and transplants. Our nationally recognized cardiac team cares for more adult hearts than anyone in the state, from AFib to heart failure, using minimally invasive options when possible to help shorten recovery, making Ascension St. Thomas Heart your first choice for routine heart care and cardiac emergencies. Schedule a heart screening or find a cardiologist at ascension.org/St. Thomas Heart.
Whether it's a cough, a fever, or something you can't quite name, MMC Now makes care easy. Walk right in, get seen quickly, and your visit connects directly to your MMC doctor. Care you trust, with providers you know, with digital check-in and multiple locations around town. MMC Now is here when you need us.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic.
Issues with Bryan Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric, who reminds us that better communication leads to better service. Keep your contact info current at mte.com so that you never miss an update on billing or local outages. We head to Nashville, the state capital. That's where we find State Representative Mike Sparks, busy on the House floor this morning, I think. And Mike, we're just a couple of minutes behind today. We had Dr. Krause had on the roundtable, Mary Esther Reed, Steve Sullivan, and H.G. Cole. So we spent a lot of time talking about North Rutherford County today. So that was a good thing. Good things happening there in the city or the town.
Yeah, there really is. I mean, I appreciate the mayor's leadership. You know, just yesterday I'd met with the commissioner of TDEC. You know, I've got Mr. Charles Jones. You know, he's 80. Well, no, he's 95 years old. He grew up at Old Jefferson. In fact, we've got a tour out there February the 28th at 10 o'clock on a Saturday if folks want to come out there and tour Old Jefferson. But he acted like he'd put up $2 million if I can get the state to show some interest in developing a park. I think the mayor seems to be interested. Her family, you know, was from out there. But I had a good meeting with the commissioner yesterday about that, and he's going to have a historian out there to listen. But, you know, folks that may not know about Old Jefferson, the Trail of Tears come through there. The first African-American lawmaker, Samson Keeble, was born out there. So there's a lot of history in that community. So that was a meeting I had yesterday. But no, I thought about HG this morning because we had a bill about fathers, importance of fathers up here on the floor. And he may get mad at me sharing this, but he always told me, man, your dad was the meanest man in Smyrna. And that's always kind of stuck with me, but I don't really worry about it because my dad was a hardcore military guy. But we just passed a bill this morning, recognize the importance of fathers. And Father's Day, sadly, it didn't give it about 5 minutes of discussion up here.
Well, did you expect more?
Well, you know, this place frustrates me, to be honest with you. It really does. And, you know, we go up here, we pass all these bills. There's 330 lobbyists running around up here, and nobody's lobbying for these issues that are breaking this country. This country's $37.69 trillion in debt, and I don't think we really study our costs enough. And that issue, I know it's hard to you know, try to have, you know, fathers being responsible, but man, if we never address it, no wonder the problem seems to be getting worse. But the statistics are so alarming when it comes to this issue. And, you know, to be honest, other than Representative Bolso, I kind of feel like I'm probably one of the few lawmakers that I brought it up in committee this week. We're talking about TennCare, and it was a group. They get millions of dollars from TennCare budget, and I said, all these families that you're trying to help, I think it's called Empower Tennessee or something. It's trying to help, you know, families. And I said, well, how many of these families you're helping to try to get off TennCare from fathers' homes? And they said, 75%. And I said, does anybody try to address that? They looked at me like I had 3 horns growing out of my head. I said, anybody study? I mean,
so they finally saw him, huh?
Well, it's just getting worse and worse.
I'm talking about your horns. Never mind.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's really getting worse, and it's really worrisome to me. I mean, I wrote an op-ed about the national debt probably, I think it was 8 or 10 years ago, because it's been a concern for me for years. It was $21 trillion. It's almost doubled. Our state budget's about doubled the past. I think the past 14 years since I was first up here, 15 years. But I mean, I study my cause all the time. You know, my wife and I both do. And but anyways, I do. You know, shout out to Representative Bolso for bringing awareness to an issue that's so crucial to our republic. I mean, if you look at the stats of the fatherless, what I've gathered is about 85% of those in prison. Think about this: 85% of the men in prison are from fatherless homes. You know, in Rutherford County, I said this the other day in finance to, I believe it was, I don't know if it was Department of Health or where it was, but I said our county, we're not going to be able to build a few schools next few years because we're having to build a $400 million jail. And we say it's $400 million now. I bet it's going to come in at being more than that in the next few years. And it's like, what is the core issue? The bedrock of that issue is a lot of the broken homes. I'll be honest with you, Brian. Sometimes I think there's an orchestrated effort to keep this country broken. and not look at solutions. When people call for the question, I mean, we have no more discussion. It's just there's no task force. There's no ad hoc committee. I mean, I don't even think the prisons are talking about it, and we're going to have to build a prison in this state. Even William Lambert brought it up the other day. State prisons, I emailed corrections the other day, and they said, well, it's kind of hard to determine right now, but it's probably $500 million to $600 million to build a new state prison.
So why does it cost? Just asking. If it's going to cost $500 to $600 million to build a prison, why is it going to cost $400 and something million to build a jail?
Well, I would say the prison is going to be, a lot larger than our local jail would be.
Right. I get that, but that's not. When you're talking about millions, it's not that many more millions to build a prison versus a jail.
Yeah. I don't know why square footage it would cost more here than there, but it's just a discussion we've got to have, whether it's, you look at the correlation with opioid crisis that we spend millions of dollars on. I see something here in the news, got my TV pulled up, talking about safeguarding our youth, and teen suicide. I've got legislation on that, and it's not going to be earth-shattering, but I think, I had a gentleman reach out to me from Winchester. He found his own daughter she hung herself in her closet. She was 14 years old, hung herself, and he found her, and they've got a nonprofit called We Live for Riv. Her name was River. Avery Kelleher is his name, and bless his heart, he's on dialysis 3 times a week, and I've got the Jason Foundation. I've reached out to them in Tennessee Mental Health Suicide Prevention, and it was kind of neat, though, that last week, the guy, 2 weeks ago, Jason Foundation come up, Clark Flatt is his name. They help train teachers across the state. I think they've trained like 65,000 teachers to just look for signs of, suicide, depression, that sort of thing. They're not therapists by no means, but at least look for those signs. And he said, I just left the governor, and he said, the governor asked me, does any lawmakers ever reach out to you? He said, well, it just so happens Mike Sparks reached out to me, and I'm on the way to his office after I leave here, leave this meeting. And I know it's been a big issue for the governor, teen mental health and suicide. He come out I think he's been public with it, and I think his own daughter has, about his own daughter trying to commit suicide a few years back. But there's a lot of issues, but I'm going to tell you, man, I think a lot of this is just the broken homes, the broken families. I hear it from teachers. I hear the childhood behavior, and I just wish we'd slow down. And it's like Abraham Lincoln said, if I had 6 hours to chop a tree down, I'd spend 5 sharpening my axe. And I see DCS budget. We continue to throw millions and millions of dollars at these problems, and it just seems like it's getting worse. It just worries me because you have we talked about this. You have a grandbaby. I have 2 new grandbabies that I'm super proud of, and wish hopefully their lives are better than ours growing up. And my fear is their quality of life is going to be worse than what we had. They can't afford homes. The traffic is terrible. It's going to get worse in 20 years. But anyway, don't mean to rant. It's just frustrating.
State Representative Mike Sparks with me. Can I tell you, though, something that does look, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but
yep.
The first item on the House, you sent me the calendar today. The first item is to introduce legislation that designates the 3rd Sunday in June of each year as Father's Day. Well, it's already Father's Day.
Well, my understanding, that's like making it official, like it's there officially. And,
so is that going to change the calendars that come out and say Father's Day every year? Or
I don't know. I did walk over and thank Bull. So I guess I don't know, man.
It's weird. I don't understand. You can see where people will look at that and say, well, why are our state lawmakers looking at this?
Yeah. Well, it's easy. Just like we had a bill on marriage here. And we've got a bill on this is interesting by Representative Hawk, House Bill 1684, if anybody wants to study it. It's about allowing personal delivery devices to be operated on bike paths, shoulders, and parking lots or the curb of the roadway removes the authority of local governments to prohibit operation of personal delivery devices. I guess this is a lot of these personal delivery vehicles, apparatuses, whatever you call them.
So we're going to have a little Amazon truck riding down the sidewalk, right?
I mean, that's where things are going. I mean, my wife, she orders, she's always doing what do you call it, Uber or whatever people are delivering. What's that called? Is it
Deliver food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's always getting it from the grocery store, and I don't know how they make their money because they're not raising prices or anything that I see. And she's always got points for food and stuff. I'm proud of my wife to be able to try to do more or less, just like our state needs to do.
But they do raise their prices. Look at the price and then compare in the restaurant, and you'll see they have there is an additional price. Plus, the restaurant is not making as much money because they have to pay that delivery service something. So
yeah, somebody's paying for it.
Right.
I mean, my wife likes it. I'm always wanting to go out to eat, and she never wants to go out to eat. She cooks, which is is saving money. I think I'm taking her out to dinner tonight. For the first times in a couple of weeks. But she's like, "Why do I want to go spend money?" I'm like, "Well, it's just you've worked hard this week, and she's keeping them grandbabies 40 hours a week, and then still running our business, and keeping grandbabies is hard work, man."
I always thought you to be the cheapskate.
I am tight, but every now and then I'll splurge. I'll let her order a Pepsi or a Coke,
Oh, wow.
Drink water. But I was raised up that way. It was tight. My father was a Great Depression era. My mom was from Scotland, so the Scotch Irish are known for being thrifty. That's why I don't drink, because I don't want to pay for it.
Oh, well, I can see that. So just to not gloss over that, this House bill that you mentioned, again, would allow the use of bike paths, shoulders, going through parking lots, any, curbing, sidewalks, that kind of thing for any delivery devices to be able to utilize that instead of utilizing the traffic to make deliveries.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting, and Representative Hawk, he's a great guy. I mean, he doesn't like my school bus bill because I'm undoing his bill. He's the one that passed it, him and the other chairman of the Department of Safety, making Tennessee the most restrictive in the world to drive a school bus. My bill is taking it to 23. I passed it on our side, but then the Senate it fell by one. But see, it goes back. I don't have a lobbyist up here running around. I'm not paying them thousands of dollars to go work these bills. I'm having to work this on my own. The irony in this whole system that we call our republic is these lobbyists that are paid for by taxpayers, many of them are making more money than your own state representatives, and many times they're working against their own bills. If I've got a bill like I had that bill freezing the mayor and all the top brass's pay raise, it saved $1 million to the counties. It would have saved $25 million. Taxpayer lobbyists are working against my bill. It's hard to bring in reforms when you've got lobbyists paid for by taxpayers working against conservative issues. And in fact, if anybody wants to debate me on this, just set it up at MTSU, set it up on WGNS, and we'll talk about it. But this is shedding light on things that need light shed on. And I think it's all a bunch of BS half the time. And I can understand why Tim Burchett gets upset with Congress, if you ever follow Tim. But you got to learn to work with the tools that are given up here. And I feel confident on my school bus bill, but even it's still an uphill challenge. I'm undoing the state of Tennessee Department of Safety's bill and both chairmen. But thank you for Tim Rudd and Robert Stevens for helping me get that bill out of committee.
Well,
anyway, it can be frustrating.
We got just a minute or so here. I did want to make sure we brought up any news on the tax cut on fresh fruits and vegetables.
It was pretty cool. We were with Department of Health, and a lawmaker behind me, Representative Rusty Grills, he mentioned fresh fruit and vegetables because we're talking about how much we spend, whether it's TennCare. Tennessee is one of the most obese states, overweight states in the nation, ranked 44, 45th. Our kids, 38% of them are 38 to 40% are considered overweight or obese. We got major health problems, type 2 diabetes on the rise, other health ailments. But he mentioned it. He just mentioned fresh fruit and vegetables, and I got to talk about I didn't mention my bill there, but I just said to the commissioner, if we can encourage people to eat healthier and make fresh, fruits and vegetables affordable, would it offset our cost down the road? He agreed with it. My bill has it's a $90 million. It's a tax cut of $90 million, but that state doesn't like to forego $90 million. But I'll argue this bill is one of the best pieces of legislation introduced this year. It's better than the governor's scholarship bill. His bill only affects a minute proportion of 7.3 million people in our state, 40,000 students. My bill affects every person in the state, 7.3. You're not going to find a piece of legislation that can lift up 7.3 million people. But anyway, thank you for bringing it up.
Well, I guess Saturday, make that Sunday night, you'll be in the studio?
Yeah,
maybe?
I've got Commissioner Rick Hall coming up with us, Jenny Williams, and we're going to talk about the Old Jefferson tour. And, like I was telling Roger Thomas, that Roger's really been active helping me. Mr. Charles Jones grew up out there. He has a heart for that area. He's wealthy. So I was telling the commissioner, I said, look, man, I don't have a lot of time. This guy's 95 years old. He's a philanthropist, and he cares about it. And so, it may not happen in my lifetime, but at least we're planting the seed for the what's that called, where you're planting, like Johnny Appleseed, you're planting the seeds that our great-grandkids could hopefully benefit from. So listen in, 5 o'clock Sunday night with me and Rick Hall and Jenny Williams, Roger Thomas.
All right. Well, we'll give it a listen. So appreciate it,
brother.
All right, Mike.
We'll see you.
All right. That's State Representative Mike Sparks joining us from the state capitol here this morning. And that's going to do it here for the program. Want to thank you for listening in. And we will, of course, have much more coming up here on WGNS. More news, information, all straight ahead. So be sure to hang in for that here. And I'm trying to figure out, where is this music coming from? Let's go with there. There we go. That's a little better. Don't forget, you can check the podcast if you missed any part of the program. It'll be up shortly at WGNSradio.com under podcast and Rutherford Issues, or better yet, subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so that way you never miss any of the local shows that we have right here on WGNS. That's going to do it for us today. Until next time, take care out there.
Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home has served Murfreesboro families with compassion and care since...
Subscribe to Big G TV. Local content that matters to Rutherford County.